Just outside the Cherokee National Forest, there's a town called Cleveland, Tennessee. In some ways, it's a lot like a lot of other towns. In other ways, it's a bit of a cultural anomaly. Life here is a little slower, a little gentler. Good manners still matter. People here know each other. Their roots run deep, sometimes going back several generations. They work together, go to church together. They raise their families together, here. Cleveland's one of those places people visit and don't want to leave. It's beautiful. It's soccer on warm fall Sundays. It's Friday night lights. It's the boys of summer playing baseball. But there's something else about this town that most people, even sports fans, would never suspect. Another anomaly, you might say. Folks that know anything about the sport of wrestling know that the Southeast is not exactly the center of the wrestling universe. Matter of fact, only one university in the whole Southeastern Conference even has a wrestling program. The Northeast, the Midwest. Now that's where the roots of wrestling history run deep. Not the Southeast. But here, in this little anomaly of Cleveland, Tennessee, exists one of the best wrestling clubs in the whole nation. It started more than 20 years ago. Responding to strong local competition, a group of coaches and parents started something to try and give their kids an edge. And boy, did it work. This is their story.
Our calling really started, it was probably 2006. I wasn't even in coaching. I really wanted to do something that just gave kids not only the sport aspect of wrestling, but also gave them the character aspect of wrestling.
Same thing. Go again. More. Do the same thing, just more longer with the hand fight. Exactly what you've been doing. Nobody in here is doing as good as her right now.
Soon after, I take the head coaching job in Cleveland, and it kind of morphed into, Cleveland high school focused. And I got to go back and give credit to probably the godfather of youth wrestling in the Cleveland area, is Alan Morris, who's the head coach at Walker Valley. Looking back, he's the one that really laid the groundwork and foundation of what youth wrestling was. I knew at Cleveland High, if we wanted to compete, then we had to make sure that we had all the pieces of the puzzle in place, because 2.5 miles down the road, there was a school that was super successful with incredible coaches, and they were doing all the things necessary.
5 feet, go! High knees, go!
Our club's different because it's a family. It's the atmosphere, it's the culture. It's not just about our one kid. I mean, when we're at a tournament or here, it's,
we're cheering everybody on.
Yeah.
And so, it started just as a passion project for me, and then it became a real pillar of what Cleveland High School wrestling is all about. But it was fun because what we saw and what you've seen in Bradley County because of the success of Bradley Central and Cleveland and Walker Valley is you see that wrestling has become a mainstream sport. You go to high school football games and you see kids running around in wrestling shirts. You go to a basketball game and kids are running around in wrestling shirts.
Put your head right in front of them. Put your head right in front of them. Yes, big freaking difference, dude. Stop. You ain't got to score, just get them off your legs.
And so I think not just, a lot of people before me, Al Miller, Al Morris, Turner Jackson, Steve Logsdon, Dwayne Shriver, Bill Talley, some of the Jerry Frazier, who was back at Bradley in the day, those guys began this wrestling journey, and we've just tried to continue it and elevate it to a new level. And obviously, if you're paying attention, you've seen that happen here in Cleveland, Tennessee.
In a lot of sports, the coach is in it for their kid,
And it's not like that, or the coach is in it for these select handful of kids. And like these coaches are in it for any kid in the room that wants to put the work in.
And it's not just this club, right? So state tournament this past year, we had some high school kids that showed up at our youth state tournament on a Saturday. How many high school boys do you know on a Saturday they're going to drive 2.5 hours away to watch elementary school kids wrestle?
To me, it's a vision manifested. It's a love for a sport that has become mainstream, and we owe it to a lot of people. It is never one person that makes those things happen. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of mom and dads who said yes to it.